And welcome to the Sit On Me podcast. I am Dean,
I'm Duff.
and we're here. And we were having a conversation in pre-production. I was telling Duff that I think it's about time the big man goes on I was thinking about going on a little bit of a reefer cleanse. Um, don't know if I will or not, but I am thinking about it. And then, of course, I'm getting a phone call that I must take. So you, Duff, keep on the reins on what you were saying.
Oh yeah, no. When we were right before we started, Dean was saying he wanted to go on a weed cleanse, like essentially give it up. Um, he said between like 30 and 60 days, what he was thinking about. I said I gave him like 30 to 60 minutes because anytime I see him, like when we're doing the show, or when I've been to his place, he's constantly smoking, which I'm fine with. Whatever helps me get through the day is cool with me. But um, it's one of those things where like I was just telling him like you said you were ballpark, like you were tossing the idea around and you were saying like 30 to 60 days. I was like, I give him 30 to 60 minutes. Like anytime I see you, like you're either high or like currently smoking.
Listen, it'd be like that. But no, like there was a point in time that I didn't smoke.
Mhm.
Even in college, I would go bouts, during, not smoke. I wouldn't smoke during the season, shit like that.
Right.
I don't know. You get older, your body starts to change a little bit. So you're just like, I don't know, do I need to be smoking as much as I do? Definitely not. You know what I mean? I'm 31, so I'll be 32
Yeah.
in November. So you know what I mean? You just start
Mhm.
to think of certain things, you know what I mean? And then like especially if I want to do what I want to do with my body, you know what I mean?
Right.
The amount that I smoke, it's definitely detrimental.
What are you trying
Um,
to do? Like really trim down?
I don't know. I don't know. I think that's because you get one thought, then I'll get really, really, really stoned, and another thought will be really, really good as well. So I got to think about that stuff too. But this isn't me going on some like anti-smoking thing. Like I will pick up
Right.
smoking again. I just
Right.
won't be smoking as heavy as I smoke now. Um,
Right.
you know what I mean? Like I think Joey Diaz does it too. Like Joey Diaz will just go on fucking like like he'll just fucking go for like a few months, just don't do anything, and you come back into it. Then eventually you fall
Yeah.
back into it, doing it too much, and then you just stop again. Like this is life. This is,
Well,
and there is,
I, like that's what I mean. I have a super addictive personality, so like, and that's with anything. I found like for a while it was like alcohol, and then like always been nicotine. Like it's gonna take something monumental for me to give up nicotine at this point. Um, and now it's like potato chips. Like yeah,
what, you collect potato chips now?
no, dude, I just rifle through them like before we got started today, like I had gone grocery shopping and like I came home and I made lunch and everything. And then like 10 minutes before we got on, I was like, man, I could use some potato chips right now. And I like just poured out a big bowl of them and like ate them real quick. And I was like, shit.
I do. So I lately for lunch I have been having and I have been enjoying, um, like a good sandwich and some potato chips. I have been
Oh,
enjoying
so
that.
good.
You know what I mean? I have been enjoying that really well. But speaking on what I want to do, like going
Mm-hmm.
back to like with the diet, speaking on what I do with my body, I really don't fucking know. Like I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I know I want to be jocked.
Yeah.
Um, I just don't know how jacked. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? Like I don't know in what realm, and I want to have some power. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what I want to do. I do know, like I said, I just want to do a good cleanse,
Yeah.
and then come back into it, and then just like moderate, like maybe do it like a few times a week. Maybe on like weekends a little bit, like
Mm-hmm.
nothing crazy, but I do smoke quite a bit, even though it doesn't
Yeah.
impede anything I have to do. I
Right.
definitely like niggas is older.
Yeah.
You want to start looking at different things. Maybe want to start attaining different things. You know what I mean? Like I do think about it. I do want to be a father, and I
Mm-hmm.
know what people are thinking. Like, oh, What does that have to do with one thing? Well, I don't want, like, I can't smoke this much reefer and be the kind of father I want to be. Can still smoke reefer and will be a reefer smoking dad.
Right.
But, you know what I mean? Want to, like, you know, attain certain things.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, maybe do certain things with, like, you know, the pot. Maybe, like, start kicking certain things. It's like another gear. You know what I mean? That maybe, you know, cleanse the reefer, then just, you know, moderately hang out with the reefer will yield better facts using the reefer differently. You know what I mean? I think I've used it for what I've been using it for, and now it's time to use it in a different manner, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Because it's almost like, because it doesn't have like addictive chemicals in it, I'm sure there's like some subconscious habit forming feeling
for me. You know what the issue is for me, to be honest with you, because I don't do it a lot, but like I will sprinkle a little like tobacco in there. So like for me, what's gonna end up happening is, like, I can see what's gonna end up happening is that, like, I am gonna end up like when I go on my cleanse, I'm going to transition into cigars during my cleanse. You thought I was gonna stop smoking, bitches? Yeah. The fuck out of here.
That's even worse.
That's the addictive part, motherfucker. Is that part?
Oh my god.
No. But you want to know what it is with cigars?
What?
One, you're not inhaling the cigar, right? So you're just, it's like you're just puffing it out. Yeah. And then the second thing is, like, a cigar is something like I can't, like, I am a master with this reefer shit. Like, I can, whatever. But like, a cigar is something that you have at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Like for me, like it's gonna be like it's gonna be my treat. You know what I mean? And yeah, people are like, oh, well, the same thing for reefer. Yeah, well, smoking in my whole 20s, like, before everything. So you know what I mean? Whatever. But like, eventually we'll get back to that for the reefer. But maybe like, you know what I mean? Like after, like, you know what I mean? You got nothing to do, whatever, or like late at night, whatever. But like the cigar will be like a treat at the end of the day, whatever the case. Still get a little bit of the nicotine kick, still get the actual smoking kick of it. You know what I mean? I'm not going to be a fucking, like, listen, like, yeah, I'm with a man, but I'm not fucking gay. So I'm not going to be out here with the fucking goddamn, like, the fucking, like, doing like the smoke challenges. Like,
dude, those are hilarious. It actually
on a fucking bad dick.
Those are, like, when you talk about cigars, like, I do agree with you, because it is something like,
and it's so strong. Like, I can't go somewhere. Like, you know what I mean?
It's not like nobody likes. It's not like cigarettes where, like, sometimes, like, people have to, like, start their day with one. Like, if you start your day with a cigar, like,
you're a savage. You're going to hell.
Yeah.
No, you're going to hell. If you start your day with a cigar, you are going to hell, sir or ma'am.
Yeah.
Imagine the chick. But time out. Question for you, Duff. You got a dime piece. You just met her out at the bar, right? You guys were kicking it, whatever the case may be. Go back to her house. Y'all have a great fucking time, right? You end up falling asleep. You wake up in the next morning. You're like, oh, God, this is fucking great. Or whatever the case may be. You're at her spot. You wake up. You smell this great food, right?
Okay. Yeah.
She sees you walking in. She comes in off the porch. You think she's smoking like a cigarette. She's got a big fat stogie. Big fat stogie with a coffee. It's just like, food's almost done. And but like doesn't look antipical, like, you know what I mean? Like, she's a fucking bad one. But she just fucking smokes Stokes in the morning to start the day.
I mean, beggars can't be choosers, man. I'll be like, what's for breakfast? Do you know what I mean? If she says like, if like it's like a spread, I'm staying. Like, and I'll get to know her. If she says like Captain Crunch, I'm like, I don't know, this girl's got.
No, because you smelt the food. Remember, so you smell some.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean?
Or maybe, yeah. Oh yeah, I'm probably staying. I'll just be like, yeah, that's your thing. Like, whatever.
Stokes in the morning. She's like, no, I smoke Stokes.
We'll be like, all right. Yeah.
Not for nothing. Would kind of want to breed with that woman. I think you would want to breed. Like, okay, you're a dog. These kids are going to be dogs.
I was going to say the toughest child.
Dogs.
Male or female, that kid is going to be like, that kid, somebody looks at that kid wrong in the hallway, they're going to be doofed right in the face.
Isn't that the thing that any parent would want is like, I just want a dog. I just want a dog. Dog.
To a certain point.
Something. Oh well, no, well, because dogs come in all different forms. I mean, like control dog, like you know what I mean. But like has that gear, like has that like we can go there if necessary. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I've heard stories.
The most successful people have it.
Yeah, I mean,
think about it. Like anybody who's anybody, they got that. Like because you got to be able to go there. Like just that's another reason why I want to fucking like kind of like chill off the reef. Was like when I was like. There's a different point in my life where I was able to like go to like the dark places easier and like they were just more accessible. And I want to get back to that, like just being able to like kick it into like another gear. Like, oh,
yeah,
you think that this is like no, we could like I'm gonna fucking drown you in the abyss. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I want to get back to that shit. Like, I want to get back to like. You like just like I'm gonna drown you in the abyss. Like fuck it, like let's go. Like that is.
I remember in college, like you had like a gear to you. Like if somebody was thinking about stepping, you're like, all right, let's do this. You roll up the sleeves, and I'm like, well, let's see where it's gonna go. You're like, nah, they already decided. And I'm like, all right.
They've already decided. You're right.
It's like I'll keep it one-on-one, but like.
But it's just that, you know what I mean? And then it's not even, because, older now, so necessarily won't be doing that outside of, like, jiu-jitsu gym.
Right.
But, and we'll be doing some tournaments. But.
Oh, good.
Like, it's just more of just knowing that, like, I just want to get that, like, I'm hungry, but I know how to create a starved feeling for myself.
Yeah.
And I just want to just create a starve. Like, I just want to kind of like go back to the basics a little bit. Go back to like going back to reading more. Like just kind of like on some real gay centering Zen shit. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, don't get too far past that because I have a question. But keep going.
You know what I mean? No, go ahead.
Okay, because I was like when you're talking about like gay centric Zen shit, I want to know what that encompasses. Is that like you get like tea koozies or something, or like you hire like an interior designer? Like
no, I'll be doing the gay shit of like waking up in the morning, doing yoga, thinking about it's super gay. Thinking about the fucking like I always said that shit is gay. Thinking about the shit like, all right, what am I gonna conquer? Like you know what I mean? Like maybe putting up a bullshit vision board, feeling like going just going to a place in my mind that I just haven't gone. Like I go there when I'm high, right? I'm comfortable there when I'm high. But it's like, let's go there when you're not, when you're not going to in the foreseeable future. So now what you're gonna do about everything?
That
you just force.
I understand. Yeah, because does that affect your direction kind of?
Oops, hold on. You're breaking up a little bit. You froze on me. Say that again.
Will to get up and go essentially.
No, hold on. My bad.
I was like, does
say it again.
Kind of like affect your? Oh, one second.
Yep.
Come on, internet. Okay,
I think you're back. Yep. Yeah.
Okay, I'm back.
Yeah.
Okay, so does smoking like affect your like ambition and drive to do things?
No, I think it affects the follow through and like what I could give, because the issue is the fact that like, when you know that you can like, I feel like there's more to give, and when I'm just looking at shit, it's just like, all right, well. Let's just make because you always hear that in order to grow, you got to make yourself uncomfortable. I think I'm just too comfortable.
Yeah.
Like, I think like the one thing that I liked about Reef is that it mellowed me out, because I'm actually very high strung. Like, I'm very like you said, like that back, like fuck you. You've already because I'm a very literal, and the issue is because I'm a literal person. You know what I mean? Like I'm very. If you said it, that's what you said. And yeah, I may know you're lying or not, but I will react accordingly to what you said. I will be prepared for the lie, but I'm going to react on what you said face value. So whatever happens, and I can't feel bad about it. That's really how I am. So I liked how the reefer kind of leveled you on whatever the case may be. But then also too now, age and growth, and then just being able to know shit, experiences in life. You're just like, all right, I can still have that and still not, and then still temper into this like dog a little more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I just want, I just want to bring the dog back. Like I feel as if you gotta, everyone always says you got to put yourself in uncomfortable situations to grow. So this is just me manufacturing an uncomfortable situation.
Yeah. I got you. You know
what I mean?
It's kind of like
it's a challenge it's a true challenge. I've done other challenges, but this one I feel as if like nothing too is like there are times where you just like, for instance, when you say you just stopped drinking for a while. Remember, I said, "What made you stop drinking?" He's like, "I just need to stop for a while."
Yeah.
Why shouldn't I do the same thing with weed?
That's fair. Yeah.
Just need to let's detox it. Let's fucking, let's now evolve. Let's get into the shits now. You know what I mean? Especially
it gives you a whole different perspective too, because I know like weed's not as like from a health standpoint as detrimental as like alcohol is. Because I remember like for me, I was like, I had like the energy and like ambition of like a 55-year-old. Like I was just tired all the time and I was annoyed and like, so I don't think weed does the same thing in that respect. But actually, while I'm touching on the subject, 2 months sober as of Monday.
Shout out.
And dude, I feel great. So I mean, I fully endorse it if you want to give it a shot, man. Just to like see, like just get a different perspective.
Exactly. Like, and then just, and once again, this is not a knock on people who smoke a reefer, who continue to smoke reefer, and smoke a lot more reefer than I do, and do what I want to do. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's cool on them. Like once again, like I said, I'm gonna come back to the reefer.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna be touching these fields.
Right.
Like,
right.
I will and I won't. What I mean by that is like, maybe like on certain days that there's nothing to do, then yeah, you can veg out, whatever like that. But otherwise, this is like, weekend deal. Like, you're going out to like a party or something, maybe like at night before going to bed type shit. Like,
yeah.
Basically what I'm saying is that like, I just want to just smoke weed like an adult. Like I want to grow. Like I feel as if now it's like, all right, you should consume it in this manner. And probably some people are just like, well, why don't you just start doing it that way? Because I want to fucking detox and I want to fucking do the stupid gay shit, doing like waking up, doing the vision board, maybe doing a fucking marathon.
Yeah.
I don't know, all that stupid shit that like, you start doing now in your 30s, then you're just gonna just do them in your 40s, and you could do them in your 50s, and you could do them in your 60s. You know what I mean? I want to be around for a while. You know what I mean? So, and it's, that kind of shit. Just kind of like planning for the future. So, we just always gonna be here. You know what I mean? Like, I buy my house, I'm gonna grow my own reefer. So, like, it's not going nowhere, but
it's always gonna be like a part of who you are, and obviously, I mean, you've hit some points like when we haven't had anything to do. Like during the day where like you spoke to a point where you're like, I was like, yeah, he's not moving. But like for the most, like I would say, like when you have shit to do, you're always functional with it.
Oh yeah, no. And that's what like, and that's why like, I'm not coming from like a place of like shame. Like I'm like saying like, I'm going to be smoking reefer again, but I just know like for me, and I think this next chapter and where I want to go and what I want to do and where I want to go with Justin, what I want, like, you know what I mean? Like, because he doesn't give a fuck. Like, he's like, you do whatever you want. Like, you know what I mean? He does not give it. Like, this has nothing to do with it. This is just all just me and my own. Just like, I just want to challenge myself as a man. Like, I feel as if after college I had nothing to like. You keep looking for competition. Like me, I can't speak for anybody. I keep looking for competition, and then I find myself like, following certain individuals and like identifying with them. And one of them that I fall on and off on, like, listen to, but the reason I continue to go back is Joe Rogan. Mm-hmm. I think the reason I like Joe Rogan so much is that he's just challenging himself every day. That's all it is, right? And ultimately, that's the place that I want to get to. I want to challenge myself every day. But in order for me to get to the point that I can challenge myself every day, I got to first build myself up to the point where I think at. And getting to that point where I think then at that point now it's like, oh, we're going to have some fun. Getting to that point is still going to be a challenge in itself every day. You know what I mean? Not looking at the grand scheme of things, just taking it day by day. I know people, this is like, a little bit of a different kind of episode, but,
And I think too, when you get that like perspective, of like you're going to figure out exactly what you want to do and how you want to do it, and then you can kind of plan from there. I do have to say, for at least I can only speak for myself, but like when I stopped drinking, I have to like relearn almost socialization, because that was such a big part of my social experience for the past couple of years. And like I'll go out now and try to have conversations with people, and like if I had to look at myself from the outside at myself having a conversation with people, I'd be like, that dude has like a lick of the tism, or like it's so like it's painful to a point where like I'm like, oh fuck, what do I say? Like drunk Kev always had something on the tip of his tongue, whether it was like whether it was like, I don't know, it was never anything like horrible, but it was always something either like kind of snide, like tongue in cheek, or like funny, or like heartfelt. Like now I have to like sit there and have it process for a second, and I'm like, oh fuck, it's like, what do I say? Like I don't know. Like me and my buddy went out last night to like some show, and we met a couple girls, and like we're talking to them, and they like, he and a girl like split off to go to the bar, and I'm sitting there talking to the other one, and this other one's like, yeah, we're doing this and that, and like she's just having a really tough time right now, and I'm helping. And like I was like, oh, what do I say to that? I didn't want to, because I was almost going to be like, oh, what's going on? Like, but like that's
what's happening here.
That's how my business. So I was just like, that's really nice of you. Like I had to sit there and like process for a second. So I don't know what that's going to be like for you when you start, like if you do end up like doing that. For me, it's like, oh, God, it's so fucking awkward.
You know what it is? I think because remember, there are times at work, I'm sober at work.
Yeah.
I think what's going to end up happening in that regard is that my tolerance for bullshit's going to be low, but I'm still not I'm an asshole, but I'm not rude and mean. You see what I'm saying? Like
I spit at how it is.
Yeah. So I feel as if like now, like, most I'm high, like I'm around, like I just won't comment on shit.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like even if it's being asked, I mean, like, oh, what do you think? Whatever. And you kind of like try to deliver the message in a caring way.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel as if I'm only going to do that for niggas I fuck with. Like in a caring way, like, you know what I mean? Whereas if like you're not trying to be an ass, you're just like, yo, listen, like, bro, like you're fucked up, but we can recover from this. But you are fucked up. We're not gonna but here is how we can do this. Whereas, now other times I'm just gonna be like, I may be out somewhere, somebody say some shit and they talk to me and just be like, nah, that's actually the stupidest shit I ever heard in my life, bro. I don't even know what the fuck you were thinking to even think that you would even get there. But now that you're here, here's how you can remedy it. But that shit was stupid. Don't do that shit again. All right?
Yeah. It's just like more, it's like more clear and concise. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I am going to like. The one thing that I did notice too that I'm interested to kind of dive into is I'm a lot more wittier and hilarious when I'm just like in the shit, like just like just obviously just whatever the case may be. It's just it's a very hilarious thing. So I'm excited to see how I'm going to be reacting. Like, is life going to be like me going to the grocery store after work every day, or will I it's going to be hilarious. But I do know one extreme part of it. The only way that this works, and I don't murder somebody, because the reason I was smoking reefer is to not murder people, is I'm going to have to lift heavy weights and choke people and get choked out in jiu-jitsu. There's the only way for me to actually be able to function in society.
Well,
I'm gonna be like a functioning like sociopath. Really, I'm just gonna be like just this little ball of murder. I'm not going to drink it because my family is a drinking issue. Like, I'm only going to keep that the way I do it is now. So it's like, oh, I'm going to become one of those extreme assholes. Like, I'm not going to talk about it all the time, unless I sound like my boys like want to know about it. But like, I'm just going to be that person. Like, for instance, you're going to be like, oh, what are you doing this weekend? Like, oh, I don't know. I just decided to do gay shit ever in my life and fucking train for a 5K, and I'm actually gonna run the bitch. Like I'm gonna be doing like the gay shit like that. Like who knows? Maybe I get into fucking hiking. Well, that's a lie. I'll probably just honestly. That's a dead lie.
That was a pipe dream you cut off after you said it. You're like, ah, fuck, no way.
Yeah. No, it's just really gonna just be like it really like that running shit. I'll never get into a 5K either. It's just gonna be like weights, jujitsu, and I'm gonna say this now. The amount of guns I'm going to own is gonna be disgusting, Duff. Because where's this money gonna go? Where's this money gonna go? I'm gonna save. I'm obviously gonna save some of it, but the other half of it, like, I'm like, trust me, people. Like,
oh, dude, if like
I'm gonna be one of those freaks. I'm gonna end up tatted up. Like, it's just like I see where I see where my life is going, and it's going to be ridiculous.
Yeah, like you're gonna have so much money. I feel like if you do get into like the body art thing, I'm gonna come home to visit, and you're gonna be like, oh yeah, I'm a lizard now. Like you're gonna do so much.
Never, but definitely at a bare minimum, like when I get, because I can only, in my mind, once again, in my mind, I have to reach a certain level of body to do what I will want to do.
Mm-hmm.
So when I got to that, like basically when you see me in super duper shape, that's when you should start to be like, so when you gonna get some ink, buddy? Because the shit is gonna be around the corner. Don't worry, son. I already lined up shop, son. I'm gonna be fucking here to here and get my back done and fucking here done. And yeah, son. I'll fucking watch. This is gonna be a lightning experience. Who knows? It'll be hilarious if like the goal was just to get off a reefer for 3 months, and then it's like I'm 5 years off and like I haven't smoked weed in 5 years, and
Or like all of a sudden you're like a neuroscientist or something like that. You have so much time.
I'd be so upset. I would be so upset.
Like, what are you doing now? You're like, I work at NASA.
How?
Yeah.
I don't know. Still pro reefer. Still pro reefer though. Still pro reefer.
I always like, well, dude, like I have so much time now because like you're gonna find like you have so much more time like when you're not like sitting around and not like
zoned off.
Yeah, like when you're like not in like that world. Like today, I woke up at like I was up till like 4, just like watching TV, like playing on my phone, and like I'm like, oh, this looks interesting, and I watch it. And before I knew it, I was like, oh shit, I gotta go to bed. But I was up by 9. I went grocery shopping. I did my laundry, and I cleaned my apartment. And then I laid down for like 45 minutes, like, and I picked up all the like. Throughout the week, I mean, mostly what I do is open mics and stuff. But when I have free time, I'm like playing my guitar now. And like, I picked up Cardistry, which is like, you like take a deck of cards and you just manipulate it a certain way. It's like not magic tricks.
Oh, you asshole. You can do the thing?
So I'm like working on it. I have like some things I can do.
You know what I'm talking about though, right? Yeah. When I did that, you could do that?
I can like go from like one hand to the other. Yeah.
You know, like the...
Oh, yeah, I can do that.
Do it right now. I don't believe you. Right now, we're going to see this shit. And this is the shit we're talking about. You know what I mean? This is the shit that adults do, I guess. You know, we fucking stop vices to pick up hobbies and other vices. That's all fucking adults do. You just figure out other vices.
Because like I started like at first it was like a huge joke. And like I brought a deck of cards into the office. And the first thing I did was like something like that. You know what I mean? Actually, I'm a lefty, so I gotta like go like I was like, yo, guys, check it out. Cardistry. And they're like, Kev,
get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, they're like, you might have to find a new place to work. So like, for a while I just leaned into it and I was just doing like this. And then
you know what they were asking, like the minute you left?
What?
Everybody was like, did his mother drive him to work? Or
does he? You drive yourself?
For the joke.
Yeah. Like I remember that bit. So like, and then for a while, it's just like, I mean, that's messy.
But, oh no, I want to see the thing. I want to see it.
I can't go like that far. You know what I mean?
You asshole.
So like, and this is a newer deck too, so it's not broken in as much. But
I want to let you know something that I was riding such a high and you fucking stabbed it.
Well, I've been working on a lot of like my material lately, so I haven't been doing as much. But like,
well, what's gonna make you money, Duff? Your fucking comedy or cardistry? Get your priorities straight.
I don't know. It's a toss up right now with all this influence.
Get your shit. You know what I mean? You could be like a fucking, you know what I mean? The cardistry king.
That's what I'm saying. Like I could be a cardistry influencer.
Come on, son. Fucking TikTok, what?
You know what I mean? But like that's a newer day.
I got you.
But it's just something I like fuck around with.
Because you got some time on your hands now, which isn't. But then how is it? And you've said it before that it's helped your art, like it's helped your comedy massively. You know, what I mean, getting off of it, just being kind of clear minded. Like I imagine your execution, your drive is better. Like I don't know, I'm just very. It's one of those things that I am excited to do, just because it's like I feel like I am going to hang out with an old friend of mine that I haven't seen in a while. Like I remember that guy. Like, he's a good guy. Like and it's funny. I've talked to Justin before, and it something leaves a bad taste in my mouth because it's like my college self, I would do nothing with him right now, and that bothers me. I need to, in my 30s, make sure that physically speaking, mentally speaking, that I am in a way superior place. Not to say that, like, you know, obviously, you know, I could do stuff to him, but he would physically dominate me. Mentally, I'm above him, but in a certain regards, he's above me. And in those regards, he's above me on. It's just like, we need to, you know what I mean? I used to be very disciplined. I used to be a very disciplined individual. I feel as if that discipline is leaving a little bit. So it's time to just, I don't know, make myself uncomfortable to force it back again.
Dude, you essentially, you get in touch with a part of yourself you haven't seen in a while. Because I'm talking to like me junior year of college. Like junior year, like Duff had like, he was like clear-minded, like pretty grounded. Senior year is where I went off the rails because I was just like partying all the time and stuff. But
yeah.
I feel like I'm talking to like junior year Duff again. And he was just like very calm, very collected. I'm still playing with these cards.
You're good.
And he was like very calm, very collected, like not a lot of things bothered him. And when it did, he was like, he could articulate it to a point to like, where it was like an adult conversation to a point. But yeah, you're going to find that you're going to like get in touch with an old person, like an old part of you. And like, you are probably going to have to hold you back a little bit more.
Oh yeah. Cause I'm not, one thing I am taken is that I can't be as, the aggression will be there, but it's going to have to be very tempered. And that's why I'm going to read a lot more books. Like effectively this year, these next few years, if we survive, for me at least, it's going to be about how can I master the mind, but it also mind games. And what I mean by that is, how do people perceive you? What do they perceive? Knowing it, controlling it, manipulating it. Like, you know what I mean? Like shit along those lines. Whereas it's as if like I'm presenting as one thing because I want you to react as one thing because I'm looking to learn something. Because I'm looking to get into these rooms eventually. You know what I mean? This podcast and others. Did I just go black for a second?
Not on my end.
Really? Well, you know what's crazy? Because, the screen had just like died on that end. Fucking, but
that's weird.
You know what I mean? I'm looking to get into these rooms. You know what I mean? Whereas with movers and shakers and, you know, with this podcast and others and doing cool stuff and things like that, to whereas, you know, gonna need the mind to be like, the mind needs to become a weapon more.
Yes.
Besides sharpening, like what I'm thinking of what I'm going to end up doing a lot of my free time, besides executing, you know, better execution, but then also too, for as much as I want to, and for as dangerous as I want to make my body, I want to make my mind as equally and more dangerous.
Yeah.
Especially going into like, you know, this is the time. Like, and once again, I spoke about like I adopt or have kids. I want something eventually. And then even if I don't, I have a goddaughter. I want to impart this knowledge on her.
Right,
you know what I mean?
right.
So like, you know, nieces and nephews, you know, like I want to be able to, now I'm starting to think of like, I don't know, starting to get a conquering spirit.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense. Like I'm starting to want to conquer some shit.
Yeah. No.
Like I want some shit. And if I gotta take it, I'll take it. And I feel as if I am gonna have to take it because nobody's giving you anything, right? Mm-hmm. And been doing these podcasts, been doing certain things long enough, and now it's like, all right, you got a base. So now it's like, all right, now there is a missing part, and you know it is missing, so let's fucking go ahead and do it. Like, let's not talk about it, let's fucking be about it. The step to that is you're gonna have to stop smoking the reefer. Yeah.
And I think that's gonna help you figure out some different avenues to accomplish what you want to accomplish.
Mm-hmm.
But you brought up something before that I kind of wanted to like talk about. When you're talking about like everybody wants a kid that's a dog, and yes, to a certain point. But I'll tell you what, like my niece is a dog, and like I don't know if I could handle it on that level.
But how old is she?
She's gonna be next month. She'll be 7, but like from the outside looking in, like as an uncle. It is fucking hilarious.
Right.
So like I remember because like my mom will tell me all these stories, and like my niece, her name's Jupiter, and we like my sister like picked her up from school one day, and the teacher goes, Mrs. Bentley, Jupiter hit Savannah today, and they were fighting over a toy. And my sister's like, okay, I'll take care of it. And like my niece got in the car, and my sister's like, Jupiter, I heard you hit Savannah today. And she goes, Mommy, yes, I did. And my sister's like, well, did you say sorry? She goes, you know what, Mommy, I don't remember. And my sister's like, well, okay, cool. And they get home, and my sister calls her into the kitchen. She goes, okay, because you didn't say sorry, you're going to have to mop the kitchen. And she goes, oh, Mommy, I definitely said sorry. I remember now.
Listen, though, that can be trained like that, because you know what? You need aggressiveness in life. Yeah. Just because that is something that can be taught, but then also can't be taught after a certain time.
Right.
And then by the time it could be taught, it may be too detrimental at that time. So I would argue that is still, the world is still your oyster. Because she's gonna have that, like, let's do it. But you're about to tell me something to poke a hole right into it. So go ahead.
Oh, dude, I got a couple more for you. There was another time, it was right around Halloween.
Well, hold on. Well, before we get to it, why did that? Well, whose toy was it?
I think it was the school's. I don't think anybody.
So was Jupiter playing with it first, and then that fucking other evil fucking 7-year-old went and tried to take it, and Jupiter said, "Bitch, not today," and punched her in her throat as she should have.
It's entirely possible, but knowing my niece the way I know her, I don't think it played out like that. Because there's like another time it was right around Halloween, and she was like bad at school one day, and my sister was like telling her, she's like, hey, if you don't stop, like, because she was just freaking out, and my sister's like, if you don't stop, we're not doing Halloween this year. My niece was like inconsolable, lost it, and as soon as they got home, she ran into the house. She goes, no Halloween, I'll make sure of that. She runs around and rips all the decorations down.
Wait.
She goes, now there's no Halloween.
That's fucking great. Yeah. I love how she was like, oh, word, you bitches think you got one up on me? I'll show you no Halloween.
Yes. Dude, she's like taking it to another level.
She's just a little terror.
Yeah, and like
I'm sorry for her husband in the future.
She's exactly like my sister. My mom like was talking to me on the phone about it. She goes, I told your sister one day she's gonna have a kid. That kid's gonna do all the same things that she did to me, and now I just sit back and laugh. And I was like, I think I'll sit there and rile her up too, dude.
Your mother has no sympathy or
not in that respect.
He's like, you get what you get. I told you.
And dude, shit. even when I visit, I see my niece like maybe twice a year because she lives in California. And it was like right around Christmas. And it was the last day I was going to be there. Like my mom and my brother were staying for like an extra week, but I had to go back to work. And I remember I'm like trying to spend time with my niece. And all of a sudden she's like, I'm going to go play. I was like, cool, let's do it. And I walk into like her playroom, which is like, it's like a garbage dump full of toys. Like anything you can imagine is probably in that room. And I'm sitting there and she's like looking at me and she goes, I need some privacy. And I'm like, well, I'm leaving tomorrow. She goes, yeah, I know.
No, she didn't.
Yeah, she did.
She shooed you off?
Yeah, she did.
She said, I'll see you. She's like, nigga, I know you leaving. Get the fuck out of here. I told you. I'll see you when I see you, motherfucker.
And at one point, so I'm like, all right. I was like, fuck you. Like, whatever. I'll go watch TV. Before I left, like, I walked past this. And I was like, I picked it up. I was like, what is this? And she goes, it's a rock with an eye. I'm like, why'd you do that? Like, what made you want to like do that? And she goes, I don't know. You can have it. Please go. And I was like,
she was done with you. Whatever you
100%,
fucking the whole flow up.
100%. And like I told my mom, like later, I was like,
her toys probably come to life.
Is it probably some weird shit. And I told my mom, I was like, yeah, like Juju gave me this. She goes, oh, Kevin, that is so nice. You know how much that means to her? Like to give you something of hers. And I was like, Mom, she gave it to me to leave the room. She goes, that's your niece. And I'm like,
she goes, I know, but that's still her way of showing she cares.
Yeah, I was like,
still her way of showing she cares.
Oh God. And like, dude, like, yeah. So like to have a kid like in that sense, I don't know if I can handle it, but like from the outside looking in,
I'd tire that kid out so bad. Like what I mean, like that kid would be in so much shit up to their gills that they wouldn't want to fuck up because then the shit that they enjoy is about to get taken. You know what I mean? Like that's what I mean. Like I would have that. Like so. Here's my plan, and once again, fuck knows if you get one, right? So, have a kid. Kids in Uber activities, mentally stimulating activities, and physically stimulating activities. The kid's gonna start enjoying shit, right?
Yeah.
You start fucking up in school, I'll take this shit away, and then eventually, the kid will get good enough in something that I don't have to pay for fucking school. Then they go off doing the fuck they want.
That's the dream. Trust me. Observing it, they take all that energy that they can't get out anywhere else, and they rain terror. Like, dude, for a while she was doing like horseback riding, and like she was really enjoying it. And they had like a mini horse for her to use.
Yeah. But they got the big ones.
Yeah. And like one day, I can't remember exactly what happened. I think they hit like some rough terrain on the trail or whatever, and my niece fell off the horse. And this kid, she stands up and she goes, "This is all your fault," and like smacks the horse on the side.
And what did the horse do?
The horse was just like, "Fuck you doing, bitch!" Like this is this is something else my mom told me, but she's like, "This is all your fault." Like, I'm like,
so. See, horseback riding is cool, but that's not tiring the kid out. We need to listen. Let me tell you what we need to put Jupiter in. Jupiter needs to get into some soccer. We need to get Jupiter into maybe some wrestling right now.
I think they may have tried soccer, and I don't think she liked it. But like,
what about some wrestling?
I don't know, dude.
If she's because here's the thing, she's an aggressive kid. You put her into, once again, because I'll be honest with you, my kids aren't going to have a choice when it comes to martial arts.
Yeah,
but there's going to be that's the one thing in the household that you will be doing up until you're 18. After that, fuck all. I don't care because you don't know how to defend yourself at that point.
Yeah. You need to learn how to defend yourself.
But for 15 years, yeah, bitch, go on out there.
I was just trying to dude. There's so many other little like things she does.
What else did she do?
She's like, oh, God, I'm trying to think.
Just
There's
wait till
like,
she gets 13.
that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm so glad like I can look at it from the outside in, and she's God. I'm trying to. There's another story in there somewhere about how like she's just a. Oh no, okay. This one I wasn't like there for, but they visited like my mom in New York, and she wanted to see like that live action remake of The Lion King so bad, and like they like just bugging my mom off the hook about it. My mom's like, yeah, okay, it's in town, we'll take you. And then mind you, this is like a one screen movie theater, and there's like nothing, like there's no other options. Like when you go to that theater, you see what they have. And actually the guy who owns it, his name is Smiles, and he sells the tickets.
That his government name?
I highly doubt it. I've never seen that guy crack a smile in my life. And we used to go there all the time. But like he just looked like
old miserable fuck.
Yeah, just like.
Has he been old for forever?
Dude, yeah.
Perfect.
Smiles has been 65 for like 20 years.
100%.
Yeah. And like they get in the movie and she's all excited about it. Like 15 minutes in, she looks at my mom and goes, Grandma, I'll go home now.
What?
Yeah.
You don't sit your little ass here.
Yeah.
We ain't going to motherfucking
just like shit like that. And then like my mom's like, no, you're not. We're watching this movie. You wanted to see it. And she goes, oh, okay. And she just starts like moving around in her seat, like just doing like dumb kid shit. And like to the point where like they made her sit and watch the movie, but it was like more taxing for everybody else to stay for the movie than it would have been to leave.
She said that. All right. Yo, the minute if she just goes, all right, y'all should have knew all hell was gonna break loose.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't there for it, but
well,
like,
no, not y'all, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And like, about to do some shit,
dude. These like some of the things, just some of the things like. That's why like I'm on the fence about having kids, because at one point, like if I do have kids, I'm gonna have one, and like I'm gonna have to be so like zen and disconnected from like a lot of the outcomes that happen from their behavior that like or else I'm like I don't know, dude. I
want two of the little fuckers.
Do you really?
I want two fucks, and I am going to make them terrorists. Like I'm going to.
You should clarify a little bit because
no, I said terrors. I said terrors.
Oh, I thought you said terrorists. So
no, terrorists. We're gonna make them terrorists.
So like, yeah, you know what?
No, not that.
St. Peter's Hospital was a real nice place until Justice.
No, that was no. I said terrors.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
no. I'm gonna make them like fucking monsters, like just little fucking. Like they're gonna be nice and respect because I guess for me,
right,
certain shit is gonna be kids being kids, and then just kind of like. It feels as if you just got to start to get to this is once again speaking for somebody who doesn't have kids, but then if you don't, you can start like kind of you just kind of think how you want to raise yours and what you think.
Yeah.
Just think like you just have to understand that there's gonna be certain points where these little fuckers are unreasonable.
Oh yeah.
And then when they just become unreasonable, just have an answer for it. And I don't know what that's gonna be for me with mine, but I'll have but I know that the game plan is all right. When little fucks get unreasonable. What is a way that really like calms a little fuck down? But then also, what is something like how do you still hold control out of essentially? Because there are times where they're gonna like do shit, and they can't even help it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So it's like once I can like identify that with mine, I'll be all right. Like and that's why I said I'm just gonna raise. I wholeheartedly, especially by the time I have kids. Because my kids are going to be raised a little bit older.
Mm-hmm.
I am probably going to live in principal and dean's offices. And the issue is going to be that I am not going to want to probably disagree with the kid. But by the time that my kids are like, I have kids and they're in school, society's gonna be fucked because they're gonna be like, hey, this kid snatched something out of your kid's hand and your kid punched him in the face. And I'm gonna say, well, what the fuck did you call me for?
Yeah. I'll be the same way, honestly. I'll be like,
fuck are we talking about?
why is this kid messing with my kid? Yeah.
I mean, like, I'm not gonna raise like my kid's not gonna be a bully or anything like that because they're gonna ultimately know, like, I will kill them.
Right.
Legitimate. I will fucking strangle you. Now, there's certain things that like my kids are gonna know that is like, oh, this is where death happens. Like death. Like I'm gonna fucking kill you. As a matter of fact, here's the number to CPS. We're gonna dial it all the way to the last fucking number. If you can get to the last number, you fucking earned it. We gonna see today.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Oh man.
You're gonna bully a kid? You're gonna bully somebody? Come bully me.
Yeah.
Bully
me,
bitch.
Oh, dude. Yeah, you got it. Yeah. That'll be a fun one, dude. I remember like
certain things can't happen. Like you gotta snuff it out hard and relentless.
Yes, or else
scar the kid. Like the kid can't. Like the kid knows like something in the kid. Like I can't do that. Just my body won't react naturally.
Yeah, dude. I remember like I have all these like little stories that like my mom is a super nice lady, but she's also very cold. Like she can be so cold. Like I remember one time, like my sister, she did something, and my mom was like trying to follow through on a punishment, and it seemed like pretty reasonable for. I can't remember what my sister did or what the punishment was, but my sister was like 8, and my sister like had like shot back to her. She goes, "Oh yeah, if you do that, I'll call CPS." And my mom walks into the kitchen, grabs the phone, hits the numbers, and she goes, "All you gotta do is hit call, and they'll come and get you." And my sister like sat down. She goes, "Well, that didn't work." Like,
fuck.
Yeah.
Fuck. She didn't go for the bait.
Yeah. No. Because in my mom's mind, like in that moment, she goes like, "They might have to if you keep on this there." Like she's like, "I got 2 more of you motherfuckers."
I can make another one.
Yeah.
Make another one. Yo, I never understood that shit until I got older. My dad used to say that shit all the time. Like, he goes, "I would fucking kill you if I had to. I could just make another one."
Yeah.
He was like, "Yeah, if you ever did something, you could die." I'm like, oh shit, man. He was like, "My father told it to me, and not for nothing, I'm gonna say that same shit to my kids."
Yeah.
And guess what? Let's say I didn't have them and I adopted them or something.
Mm-hmm.
I can go adopt another one.
Yeah. Like I can give you. There's an exchange policy on you, buddy.
There's thousands of them I can adopt. I will kill you dead. Like,
it's like I got like there's plenty of you on layaway. Like
watch. I'm fucking gonna go to the adoption agency. They're gonna give me a white kid. I'm gonna be like, "Y'all sure about this?" Because I'm telling you, I'm raising that. Okay, you know what? No, give them to me. Thank you.
Yeah. I do have a question for you since we're on the topic of like kids and like being a kid and stuff like that.
Sure.
Like I know you told me stories like in college about like you getting into fights and stuff like that. Have you ever done any? Because I was never like I was a fat kid, so I wasn't like fighting a lot. I was usually getting fought, so I was more like mischievous than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have like any stories of like a time you just did something and you're like
that it was just straight evilness?
Yeah, because I have one.
There's and I think that this is the idea of screen keeps around whatever. I've done a lot of fucked up shit. What do I want to say on air? Maybe in college, you know, maybe, you know, that whole Delta Alpha Sig fight, allegedly that happened. Yeah. You know, the second aftermath of it when somebody's face got, you know, whatever. You know, certain things happen, you know, whatever. Maybe or maybe not. You know, after the first fight happened and we whipped some people's asses, you know, they were talking some shit. Maybe not. I invited them. to a place, you know, maybe or maybe not. A few people, actually, a lot of people got hurt, but it all gets overshadowed because of one injury that we won't talk about. I know people
I
thinking
remember
like,
that one.
"Oh, what did we?"
I
Listen,
remember that. Yeah.
I know it happened a while ago when there was restitution. Like, I'm not like getting involved in that.
Yeah. We're about 12 years removed from that.
Yeah, but still, that was Then that was in defense because they came to jump us.
Yeah. Well, I'm not even talking here. Like, let me give you my example from like this is when I was
Sure.
like 8, just like something.
Oh, being a little shit.
Yeah, dude.
Oh
Like
yeah, go ahead. You go first.
Okay,
I got
cool.
a good one. I used to Booker fights. We'll get to that later.
Okay, so like I remember I was like 8 or something. My grandpa came to visit. My grandpa's like a huge germaphobe. Like, wash your hands all the time. Like, wipe off your silverware before using it. Like, it was bananas. And I remember like my mom took us to town because she had to go grocery shopping. And I remember she got us like me and my sister. She got us each a bag of like M&Ms, but they were like the peanut butter filled M&Ms. And I remember me and my sister sat in the living room and we were like, wow, I wonder how many are in each bag. She's like, oh, good idea. So we take them and dump them on the floor. And we're sitting there counting them. And I'm like, okay, that's how many I have. And my sister counted slower because she was 5. And I like just put mine in the bag. And I sat there with them. And my grandpa walks in and my sister's like counting all her M&Ms. And she's like, Grandpa, do you want an M&M? And he goes, no, that's disgusting. They've been on the floor. I don't want any of those. And I was like, okay. I was like, well, Grandpa, I'm done with mine, so you can have them. He goes, why, Kevin, that is so thoughtful. Thank you so much. And I went outside and I was just like playing basketball. And like 2 hours later, my mom like woke up from her nap and she goes, Kevin, I heard that you gave Grandpa your M&Ms. I can't. That is the most thoughtful thing I have ever heard. And I was like, yeah, I mean, I dumped him on the floor. And she goes, oh.
Snitch on yourself.
And she's like, why did he eat them? I was like, yeah, he didn't know they were on the floor. I didn't have the heart to tell him. And she goes, and I think like he died with me having that secret. like
no idea.
Like on his deathbed. I remember like the day he passed and everything. And I went.
I dropped him in M&Ms.
I remember seeing it. Like I remember seeing him there, and I was like, yeah, this is probably it. And it was kind of fucked up. Like I mean, I love my grandpa and everything, and we had a ton of good times. But like, I was like, what do I want to say to my grandfather before like I can't talk to him again? And the first thing that popped into my mind was like 15 years ago when I gave you those M&Ms and they were all on the floor. Like that's what like I want. Like the first thing that popped into.
You were like, yo, I dropped them. I'm sorry, but I love you. I ain't really mean it. Well, I did, but you know what I'm saying?
I feel like if I told him that, his heart rate would have went through the roof and we would have got a couple more years. Yeah, we would have got a couple more years out of.
He would have looked at you like you piece of shit.
Yeah.
I never knew a piece of shit like you.
Yeah, he goes, oh, that's why I have Alzheimer's. Like,
fucker! I thought you were the good one.
Oh God.
Oh man. No. So in 6th grade, I'll never forget it. I had a buddy named Ronald, and we went to elementary school together. And he came to me, and he was like, "Yo, But we weren't in the same classes." He was like, "Hey, you know anybody in your class who would like to fight?" And I was like, "What? Like just fight you?" He was like, "Yeah, I want to fight somebody." And I was like, "I think I know a few people who potentially would fight you." And so he was throwing out names. I was like, nah, like I booked the fight. And then he was like, I want to fight this kid, Chris. And I was like, all right, cool. I'll put it together. So I remember going, Chris was in my class. So I go to Chris and I was like, yo, Chris. I was like, Ronald trying to fight you. He was like, who? I was like, Ronald. He was like, for what? I was like, he just wants to fight. He was like, well, why? Well, what are you telling me for? I was like, because I know you. And he wants to fight. And he told me he wants to fight you. I was like, I don't know. I'm just here. I'm just the messenger. He's like, all right, fuck it. Them two duked it out. That shit was wild.
You played Dana White for 6th grade fights?
Legitimately. Yeah. And then another time before, we get on out of here. Another good one to show you my little more deviant side, which I can't wait to get. This is the crazy shit that I would be willing to go to. So I remember somebody robbed the football team. We were at practice. Mm-hmm. They went to our locker. They stole our shit. Not gonna say who or not gonna say how, but I had some connections into figuring out who did the shit. Mm-hmm. I was able to find out who stole our shit, the football team shit. I got the motherfuckers like school records and all that shit. I ended up because then my other man Danny was able to procure that shit. So yeah, man, we presented the football team like, this motherfucker who robbed us, and you know how that went.
Yeah. Oh God.
Yeah, I can't wait to like. That's what I mean by just like it's. I can't wait to get back to just like.
Oh, deviance in Long Island is so much different than it is upstate.
Well, yeah, I used the completely wrong word. Deviance uses like showing yourself and shit like that. I meant to say just like just like the depth I would go. Like I would still go there, obviously reefer or not, but like I said, I want to be able to tap into the dark forces easier. Like you know what I mean? Being able to just.
When you have to turn it on, it's kind of like that. Have you ever seen Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
Yes.
Yeah, so like Brad Pitt's dog in that movie.
Yeah, just like just want to be there, just right here, easily accessible, the same way as if I would grab a drink of water.
Yeah.
Shit, this has been a little bit of a wild episode, and we were live on the YouTube machine. I'm a little bit up and down, a little bit of turbulence, whatever the case may be. What are your thoughts before we head on out of here on what's happening in the NBA? Before we head out, do you follow this shit? I don't know what's happening. I know that the Lakers won.
Cool. I want the Lakers to lose next round.
Who they go against now?
I don't know, but I hope they lose. I think
it's because they're in the Western Conference Finals now.
It's against the Nuggets.
Ooh. Jokic, right?
Yeah.
And then we still have Miami and the fucking Knicks. I hope the Knicks win. And then who are the other two? What is it, Atlanta? And
I think it's Boston and the Sixers.
No, Boston's eliminated.
Are they?
Yep. Yeah, Boston got eliminated, buddy. And I know that because I was watching the Pat McAfee show and they shitted on Boston Connor with that shit. It was hilarious.
Let's check real quick. See.
Yeah, Boston's fucking dead.
Are they? No, because it's Game 7. It's gonna be Game 7
tomorrow. Oh, it was the Bruins that died. That Boston Connor got. Yeah. Okay, yeah.
That was
dead
hilarious.
For the Boston Bruins. All right, yeah, you're right. All right, so who's it? You said it's the Boston versus who?
Boston versus Sixers, Game 7, and then they go on to play the Heat or the Knicks. And
I hope the Knicks win.
That would be good for them. That'd be good for them. But I mean, I hope whoever comes out of the East, if the Lakers beat the Nuggets, can beat the Lakers.
You just don't want LeBron to get another one?
Oh, he's so annoying.
Why? He's fucking amazing. What is it to dislike about him?
Because he just he thinks he's the greatest of all time, and he's not.
I mean,
he's not.
Are you saying that because he could play in Jordan's era and be just as good?
No, he wouldn't.
You don't think he could be as like?
He'd be a premier player, but he's not. He's not going to beat Jordan.
I don't know, man.
Jordan won all his rings with the Bulls, and he did not. I mean, he had Scottie Pippen.
He had a squad. He had Scottie. You remember he had Scottie. He had Horace. He had Kerr was a good coming off the bench. I mean, as the point guard too. He had what's my man Dennis Rodman.
He only had Rodman for a couple of years,
but still he got him 1 or 2. He had there's like a few other guys. He had a little squizzy.
He
had a little spot, and I think people underestimate how good Scottie is. Like Scottie's a monster.
Yeah,
and Scottie.
Yeah, and I would but I don't. Yeah, no, I just don't like him. He already said he's the greatest of all time like 5 years ago when he won that ring in Cleveland, and I'm like, shut up. And if you think about it, if Jordan didn't retire twice.
You mean allegedly get pushed to retire because of the mob? Allegedly.
Allegedly, yeah. Like if he didn't retire twice and he went from high school to the NBA.
Well, he didn't win early, but I don't. You're right. You're right. You know, we gonna table this conversation.
Yeah. Speculation.
Because
Speculation.
I have to go back to the bathroom.
Okay.
Fuck. God damn it.
Yeah.
Chinese food was good, but god damn it.
Hell
Peace,
yeah.
love, and chicken, y'all. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
Later.
We out. Peace.